one time and then will be used for the next time, yeah, this one, yeah, the energy storage. So energy storage is the capture of energy produced at one time to be used at a next time. Meaning a device that can store energy, the energy will be stored at one time. At one time, for one time, the energy will be stored. Okay, and then after that, when we want to need it, the energy can be used. Can be used. Now, so sometimes the device can store at one time, and then also for the same time, the energy will be used. Meaning energy is stored and in the same time the energy is used. This one. Now so the device can be classified in the storage energy device. This one. And then based on the technology, the energy storage can be classified into 4 classification. The first is we can call electrical mechanical. This one. Why it is called electrical mechanical? Because in the storage energy there is part of electrical and also there is part mechanical. This one. Now device including here is the first which we can call pump hydro energy storage. This one. And then the second, compressed air. This air will be used in the storage cavern. After that will be used combined together with the gas. For example, gas electrical power plant. And then in here, flywheel. Flywheel. I want after this I won't explain detail. Flywheel here, convert from mechanical to be electrical. Based on the one disc and then one motor. Okay, and then the second classification is electromagnetic. This one, The electromagnetic because in this process magnet is occur in this device. The first we can call supercapacitor. Energy storage. We know the capacitor can store in the can store energy for the momentary time. Although for the momentary time. Okay, and then the second is superconducting magnetic energy storage. This one is capacitor and this one is inductor. Remember when the current flows through the coil, so the magnetic part will be generated in this coil, and then the energy is given by 1/2 Li power 2. This one. Okay, and then the classification is electrochemical in here. In here, chemical process occurs. In this electrochemical classification of energy storage here. The first hydrogen, and then battery. Hydrogen and battery. Hydrogen in here needs hydrogen combined together with the air, and then will produce electrical and also H2O, water. And then the last classification is thermal storage. Here, thermal storage, meaning thermal will be captured in the device and then can be used into the other system. The other system here. Yeah, in here. Now thermal, yeah, the unit can also joule. Yeah, in here. Yeah. And also the type of the thermal storage is sensible and latent energy. Yeah. And then the last chemical heat media. Okay. And then if you look at in terms of the color given here, yeah, for example, for the zero here, yeah, it is the energy can be stored in terms of the time, yeah, long time lah. Yeah, long time. Maybe in one in hour and also day. Yeah. What color is it? Purple. Now this one is in the medium time. Yeah, minute into hours lah. Yeah. And then the last here, yeah, for example, like this one lah, supercapacitor. Yeah, for the time, yeah, is short time. Yeah, maybe in the second, in until minute also. Yeah, this one. Okay, now we want to explain one by one. Yeah, one by one. I mean, it is overall. This one is overall here, and for this case, only hydrogen and battery. Yeah, in here, convert, yeah, from the electrical to be heat lah here for the thermal storage. Okay, the first what we can call pump hydroelectric storage. This one. I read first. Its operating principle is based on managing the gravitational potential energy of water by pumping it from a lower reservoir to another reservoir while consuming power from the grid, or by releasing water from the upper reservoir to the lower one when energy need to be injected into the grid. Yeah, this one. Okay, now look at this figure. Yeah, for the pump hydroelectric storage. Yeah, in this electrical storage, yeah, here the system consists of the first what we can call as lower reservoir here. Yeah, lower reservoir here. Yeah. Collect also water here. Yeah, water here. And then the second is upper reservoir. Yeah, upper reservoir. In terms of the position, yeah, the lower reservoir, yeah, is below lah. Yeah, below. And then upper, yeah, is above, yeah, from this lower reservoir. And then we can see here, between upper reservoir and also reservoir here is connected by what we can call here channel can or penstock. Yeah, here we can call channel or penstock. Yeah, penstock that constructed by, yeah, like pipe lah here. Yeah, pipe. Okay. And then between this lower reservoir and upper reservoir, yeah, it has heat waterfall. Yeah, heat waterfall. Yeah, here. It's here. Okay, now how it operates. Yeah, like this one. Look at here. It is power hose. Yeah, inside of the power hose, we have one generator. Yeah, the generator is coupled to water turbine. Yeah, now here inside of this power hose. Yeah, mean, for example, it is connected to the grid. Yeah, connected to the grid. When the utility grid operates, yeah, this water, yeah, in this lower reservoir will be pumped, yeah, through this pipe goes to upper reservoir. Okay, now yeah, in here, in this upper reservoir, meaning has volume. Yeah, this one is volume, yeah, of water, yeah, of the upper reservoir. Yeah, the upper reservoir. Okay, now, when no grid, yeah, meaning when there is no utility grid. Now, so this water in this upper reservoir can be flowed, yeah, through this pipe. Yeah, for example, this one is POB lah, POB, and then has pulp here, open. Yeah, it's open. Now, so water flow through here. Water flow through here, and then this water will strike this water turbine. Remember, this water turbine connected to the rotor generator, so the stator of generator will produce electricity. Now this one. Okay? And then when, yeah, because it is like dam, yeah. When the water flow through here, the water will reduce. Yeah, will reduce. No, yeah, sometimes there is no water, or the water is not enough to strike this water turbine. Yeah, now so water from here, yeah, to be here, collect in this lower reservoir. Yeah, for example, stop lah because the water is not enough. Okay, and then the other time again, the water in the lower reservoir will be pumped. Yeah, goes to this upper reservoir. Now this one lah continuity for this process, ya. For pump hydroelectric storage, ya. Okay, here. Now, how about the energy will be stored by this pump hydroelectric storage? Yeah, remember in here, between upper reservoir and lower reservoir has height of the waterfall. And then water can flow, yeah, because has gravity. Yeah, gravity G, 9.8 meter per second power 2. Yeah, this one. Okay. Now, so this upper reservoir has volume of water. Yeah, V in here. And then water has water density. Yeah, here. Now, so the energy can be stored by this pump hydroelectric storage system is given by this one. Yeah, energy pump hydro storage is equal to rho GHP. Yeah, rho in here is density of the water is equal to 1000 kilogram per meter power 3. And G in here is acceleration or gravity is equal to 9.8 meter power 2. Yeah? And H is the height of the waterfall. Yeah, unit in meter, and V in here is volume of water. Yeah, meter power 3. And so it is energy can be stored by the water pumps energy storage. Yeah, this one. Yeah. And then the second type of the electromechanical, what we can call, yeah, as compressed air energy storage. Yeah, compressed air energy storage. Okay, in here I first read, yeah, compressed air energy storage system are based on conventional gas turbine technology. Yeah? Energy is stored in the form of compressed air in an underground storage cavern. Look here, underground storage cavern at pressure between 40 to 70 bar at near ambient temperature. Yeah, another possible is to store the air in above ground tanks. Yeah, the air is additionally mixed with natural gas. Yeah, this one. Mixed with natural gas and combines for increased efficiency. Yeah, this one. Meaning what the main objective? Okay, for combining between the air, yeah, from this underground storage cavern and natural gas, yeah, to increase the efficiency of power plant. Yeah. When energy needs to be injected into the grid, the compressor air is drawn from the storage cavern, heated, and then expanded in a set of high and low pressure turbine, which convert most of energy of the compressor air into rotational kinetic energy. Then the rotational energy is converted into electrical energy in a generator while driving the electrical generators. The turbine exhaust is used to heat the air in the cavern. Okay, now look at here, this figure. Yeah, this figure I can divide it by two part lah. Look here, for the first, yeah, I can call here, yeah, is natural gas power plant. Yeah, here. And the second here, yeah, this system I can call as compressed air energy storage, yeah, system. Okay, now look at here. Yeah, now so when we have electric from the grid, yeah, this one, yeah. Now, so this electric is used by this motor, yeah, to move this compressor. Yeah, this compressor is operated, and then air enter here. Yeah, this compressor is connected by one pipe. I call one pipe lah, goes underground. Yeah, this part we can call as storage cavern. Yeah, this one. Yeah, now so meaning this compressed air, yeah, will be collected here. Yeah, here, yeah. And then, yeah, same for the same time and the other time, this compressed air will be flow through here. And then in this recuperator here, yeah, and then will be combined together with natural gas here. Yeah, natural gas here. Yeah, meaning we want to increase in terms of the pressure and also temperature. Yeah, to strike this gas turbine. Yeah, to strike this gas turbine. Yeah, now so gas turbine will be connected together by this rotor generator. Now so this this generator will produce electricity. Yeah, now so the system can be called as compressed air energy storage that used to the natural gas power plant. Yeah. This one. Okay, and then the type of the electrical mechanical technology for energy storage is flywheel energy storage system. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one, yeah. I read first. Flywheel storage kinetic energy in a rotating disc that is mechanical coupled to the shaft of an electrical machine. When the machine accelerates, that is, operate as motor. Energy is transferred to the flywheel and stored in the form of kinetic energy. In opposite term, the flywheel will be discharged when the electrical machine regenerates through a drive. That is when the speed of the system is reduced. Yeah, this one. Okay, now look at this system. Yeah, the all system we can call as flywheel energy storage. Yeah, it is contract by the first is motor here, and then the second here flywheel. This like this, yeah, like this. Let's say this motor is connected to the electric, so meaning the motor will move. The moving of this motor also move this flywheel. Yeah, meaning in the same time the energy, kinetic energy will be stored in this flywheel, like this here. Yeah, maybe when the condition is stopped, because there is one type the energy storage here, the flywheel will move. Yeah, although in this momentary time lah. Motor, this machine before S motor, and then when opposite of this flywheel move, the motor to be generator. Now, so will produce electricity, this one. How about the energy can be stored by this flywheel energy storage is given by this formula, Energy flywheel unit in joule is given by 1/2 J omega 2, J is moment inertia here, and omega in here is rotation speed unit in radian per second. It is formulation for storage, energy storage that can be captured by the flywheel energy storage system, Okay, until here. Any question? Any question from student? For Sin? From all? For Sin?
No question.
No. Yang lain, Amin? Nur Aina? Nur Aina? No juga? Boleh paham, Nur? Nur, boleh paham? Naili?
Ya, paham, betul.
Boleh ya? Alhamdulillah. Naili?
Yes, Doctor.
Any question? Ada soalan?
No, Doctor.
No. Kalau tak ada, kita lanjut ya. Okay, the second classification of the energy storage is electric magnetic. We have two type of the electric magnetic. The first is superconducting magnetic energy storage. This one is like inductor lah. Inductor. We have coil here. This one. This coil is flowed by the current I. I read first. In this type of system, the energy is stored in a magnetic field. This magnetic field is created by a DC current flowing through a superconducting coil at cryogenic temperature. Superconducting material present almost negligible resistance while at cryogenic temperature. So the magnetic field in the coil can be created and maintained with a very small amount of current flowing through it. Very little energy is dissipated by Ohmic losses. This one. Okay, look at this one lah. I can illustrate here. If we have one coil here. If we have one coil here. And then this coil is flowed by the current. And then we know, based on the right hand rule. Right hand rule. This four finger, this one, four finger, my finger here. RS direction of the current, like this one. For the current, like this one lah, the flowing. And then my thumb here, this thumb is S direction of the magnetic flux. Magnetic flux. Because the magnetic flux is generated by this coil, Yeah, and then this coil has inductor and current flow. Yeah, and then this process generate the flux. Now, so the system can be called as electric magnetic classification of the storage energy. Now, so the energy can be stored by this superconducting magnetic energy storage is given by this one, yeah. 1/2 Li power 2 here. L is inductance of the inductor. I is current flows through the coil. Yeah, here, yeah. Here. And then this one is, for example, the coil in the tank. Yeah, the coil in the tank. And then the tank, the coil is connected by the electricity here. You know, so the energy can be produced here, yeah. Now this one is superconducting magnetic energy storage, yeah. Okay, and the second type is supercapacitor energy storage system. I read first also. Supercapacitors are based on electrochemical cell that contain two conductor electrode, an electrolyte and a porous membrane that permits the transit of ions between the two electrodes. The electrodes and the electrolyte are electrical charged. Cathode is positively charged, the anode is negatively charged, and the electrolyte contain both positive and negative ion. Yeah, okay, look at here. Yeah, for example, this capacitor. Yeah, capacitor. Capacitor has two electrodes. The first electrode we can call anode, and the second is cathode. Yeah, cathode. Okay, now, when this capacitor is connected to the electrical source, now between anode and cathode, we have the voltage V here. Yeah, it is one membrane, yeah, here electrolyte here. Okay, now because the capacitor has capacitance of the capacitor C, is capacitance, yeah, of the capacitor, yeah, C, and then between anode and cathode, yeah, has voltage here. So energy that can be stored by this supercapacitor energy storage is given by this one. 1/2 CV power 2, yeah. C is capacitance of the capacitor, V is voltage, yeah, across anode and cathode here. Yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay. It is part of the electromagnetic energy storage. And then the next classification is electrochemical. Yeah, electrochemical. For this one, we want to discuss about the battery, yeah? Because every student knows about the battery. Yeah, we have the dry cell, for example, and then the second type is one battery that can be charged. Yeah, has the electrolyte also. Yeah, chemical process will be occur in this battery, yeah, this one. Now, so meaning battery sometimes can be charged. Now, so and then after that can be used for the next time. Yeah, this one. Now I read first. Yeah, a battery energy storage converts electrical energy into potential chemical energy while charging, and release electrical energy from chemical energy while discharging. Yeah? It is based on reduction and oxidation reaction, commonly called redox reaction. Yeah? This one. An electrochemical reduction reaction is one that allows the component involved to gain electrons, while an oxidation reaction allows two components to lose electrons. Redox reaction yields near active electrochemical active substance with non-neutral electric charge and hence ion, yeah, this one. Okay, now so look at here. Or this one. Yeah, it is, we can call a dry cell. And then it is one part of the one type of the battery that can be charged. Yeah, now so for the dry cell here, for example, meaning the energy has been stored in this battery. And then when this battery is used for the some time, now so the energy will reduce, and then after that is indicated by the voltage will be low. Meaning the energy will reduce. This one. For this type of this battery, it is the battery that can be charged. When this battery is charged, chemical process occurs. Meaning, to store the electric energy here. So when this battery is discharged, meaning this battery, meaning after this battery full stop to charge, and then is used for the discharge condition. This one. Then also this battery is indicated also by the voltage. Voltage will reduce when this battery is discharged or when this battery is used. This one. Now in here, the chemical process occurs. In this battery. Okay, and then if we buy battery, we always knows. For example, it is battery. And then this one is terminal. This one positive terminal, negative terminal. Or manifold, for example, it is written 12 volt. And then, for example, 10 ampere hours here. Now so here. We want to know what is meaning this data sheet. We can see here. We can see here that it is indicate for the battery level in terms of the voltage 12 volt. And in terms of the capacity of the battery is indicated by the ampere hours, meaning this battery wants to be used. In terms of the ampere current, ampere, or in terms of the times, hours here. For example, if this battery is used to supply one load, the load has 2 ampere. 2 ampere load, for example here, load has 2 ampere. Now so meaning the battery can be used until how many hours here? So it is indicate that the 10 ampere hours divided by 2 amp. Now so it's around 5 hours. Meaning this battery can be used after storing until 5 hours. For example, in terms of the time, we don't know lah. For example, this battery we connected directly, and then we use until, for example, until 5 hours. It is meaning 10 ampere hours divided by 5 hours. Meaning, I use this battery for the load current is around 2 ampere. This one. It is this one. It is meaning if we read I can call the sheet of this battery that indicate by voltage and ampere hours. This one for the battery, electric, chemical. Okay. And then the second type of the hydrogen. Yeah, the hydrogen. Look here. I want to explain the system. The system can be called as regenerative fuel cell. Yeah, now so it is fuel cell. Yeah, fuel cell. This fuel cell needs hydrogen. Yeah, hydrogen, H2. And also hydrogen in the side of anodes, yeah. And then in the side of this cathode, we need oxygen, yeah, O2 here. Now, so in this condition, anode, yeah, will do one chemical process and also cathode like that also. Yeah, now so in here, H2, here, yeah, H2, yeah, will produce to be ion H positive and electron will flow here. Yeah, here. And then in the cathode will produce like this one. Because H positive will goes from the anode to cathode, and O2 yeah, from cathode combined together with H positive will produce H2O, water. So the result can be written like this one, yeah. Hydrogen plus oxygen will produce water. Meaning in here, yeah, in this fuel cell, yeah, operates will produce electricity and water. Yeah, here water. Look at this anode side here. Hydrogen, H2. Now this hydrogen can be generated by the system using the water electrolyzer. When this water electrolyzer process and then produce hydrogen, this hydrogen will be stored in this hydrogen storage system, yeah, this one. Yeah, store here and then can be applied, can be used into this fuel cell. Yeah? Okay, this one. Okay, and then we want to know how many hydrogen, how many oxygen, how many number of water, and also air, yeah, are needed in terms of the hydrogen, oxygen, air, and water production, yeah, for the production. Yeah, they are calculated by using this formula, yeah, this one. Now, so for the oxygen, you say is equal to 8.29 times 10 power minus 8 times PE over PC. For the A, you say 3.57 times 10 power minus 7 times PE over PC. For the hydrogen, 1.05 times 10 power minus 8 times PE over PC. And water production, yeah, inside of the cathode of the fuel cell is given by 9.34 times 10 power minus 8 times PE over PC. Look at this all formula. Yeah, they are almost same. Different only here. For oxygen 8.29, air 3.57, H2 1.05, water production 9.34. They are the same. Yeah, remember for this formula. Yeah. PE is the total of power, yeah, in the fuel cell step. And PC in here is cell voltage. Yeah, because remember fuel cell here is constructed by the shell and then can be combined together. Yeah, shell per cell has the cell voltage. Yeah, this cell voltage is given by the symbol VC. and the combination of the cell that connected together, for example, series, we can have the electrical power for the total, this one. And then this total electrical power is given by this symbol PE in here. Look at example. Please look at. Please give the focus for this one. This one. I read. A 1 kilowatt fuel cell operating for 1 hour at a cell voltage of 0.7 volt. How many kilogram of oxygen, air, hydrogen, you say H2, and then water production for 1 hour? Please look at here. Give the focus. Give the focus. Now so we have the fuel cell stack. For example, this one is fuel cell. Fuel cell here. Now so we have the terminal connection, positive, negative. Fuel cell is constructed by the sham cell. That has PC is equal to 0.7 volt. And then the total power of the some cell here, we can call as fuel cell stack. Here. And then we have the electrical power is equal to 1 kilowatt or 1000 watt here. In here we want to calculate number of the oxygen in kilogram per hours, and then air, hydrogen, and also water production. When we want to calculate the number of oxygen, we can use this formula. This formula come from here. This one. Now so oxygen usage is equal to 8.29 times 10 power minus 8 multiply PE over PC. Now so we can substitute value from here all. 8.29 times 10 power minus 8 times 1000 over 0.7. We obtain like this one. 1.18 times 10 power minus 4 kilogram per second. Remember when we use this all formula, the unit is in kilogram per second. This one, kilogram per second. This one. Now so because we want to know the number of oxygen, air, hydrogen, and water production per hours. Now so this second will be converted to be hours. We know that 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds, or 1 second is equal to 1 over 3000 hours. So meaning for this one value, for example O2 is equal to 1.18 times 10 power minus 4 kilogram per second. Now so I can write to be 1.18 times 10 power minus 4 kilogram per second, like this one. 1 over 3600 hours. This one. Hours. Now so I can write to be like this one. Here. So 1.8 times 10 power minus 4 times 3600 kilogram per hours. We obtain 0.42 kilogram per hours. This one. The same way we can calculate the air usage by using this formula. Air usage is equal to 3.57 times 10 power minus 7 times PE over PC. This one. Now so we just substitute value of PE and VC from here. From this question. We can obtain the values is 1.836 kilogram per hour. Yeah? The same way, yeah? This one. Because this all calculation all are almost same, different only in front of this formula. Yeah? Look at different only here, and here. Yeah? And then for the hydrogen, you see, we can use this formula. Yeah, this one. Now, so 1.05 times 10 power minus 8 times PE over VC. We can substitute value of PE and PC from this one or from the questions. Now, so we obtain its value is 0.054 kilogram per hour. Yeah? Okay, and then the last we want to calculate the water production. We can use this formula. Yeah, this formula comes from this formula. Yeah. So 9.34 times 10 power minus 8 times 1000 over 0.7. 1000 is electrical power, 0.7 is cell voltage. Now, so we can obtain its value, this one, 0.48 kilogram per hour. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, it is the electric chemical. Yeah, electric chemical. And the last is thermal. Yeah, thermal. Now, so I can read. Thermal energy storage, TES system can store heat to be used later under varying condition, such as temperature, place, or power. In the TES system, energy is supplied to a storage system to be used at a later time involving three steps: charge, storage, and discharge. Yeah. And so, for example, in our bathroom we have the heater, water heater. Water heater. Now, so the water heater is supplied from the electricity. Yeah, maybe we have the coil, same like the jug. Yeah, we want to boil water in the jug. Yeah, we have one coil that connected to electricity. Now, so the coil produce the heat. Now, so when sometime we can control for the temperature, how many degrees Celsius will be stopped. Now, meaning the storage energy, the heat will be stored in the system. And then after that, when we use, this condition is discharge condition. Yeah, here. Now, so meaning in here, there is process, charge, use, and discharge. Yeah, this one. Yeah, in here, meanings, for example, water has the mass and also the CV, and also we have the temperature different, because the heat, the first is low, and then after that is high temperature. High, meaning how many degrees Celsius, Now, so the energy can be stored by the system is given by this formula, Q is equal to M multiply Cp multiply delta T. M in here is mass of the storage material, and Cp is in here is specific heat. And then delta T is temperature change here. That is the energy that can be stored by the for example the water heating this one. Okay, finish for the energy storage. Okay, any question for this all? Any question? For Sinlung? No, Muhammad Faris. Yang lain, Nur Aina. Raina?